is that former Mungiki leader Maina Njenga is now a free man after the Director of Public Prosecution dropped charges citing a lack of cooperation between some witnesses. Maina Njenga had been charged with being a member of the outlawed Mungiki sect and engaging in organized crime.
According to the state, 20 witnesses were unwilling to testify against Njenga due to their relationship with the former sect leader. The court directed that Maina Njenga and 11 co-accused persons be discharged, their bonds refunded, and their phones returned.
This court's ruling is explicit as to the admission by the prosecution of its grounds for termination of the case. That is the account of lack of evidence.
This willy-nilly decision by some officers to charge people and then come and say, sorry, we did not conclude on the investigation, should stop.
Tunashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa sababu ya hiyo haki tumepata. Tunashukuru mahakama, tunashukuru mawakili wote ambao walifanya hiyo kazi na nyinyi pia, na tunasema Mungu awabariki.
Ukiwa na wengine ambao hawamo kotini.
Elsewhere, Omar Ali Mohammed, the main suspect behind the abduction and the gruesome sexual assault on blogger Bruce John Hajira, denied all charges leveled against him.
Kinyume na sheria, unakubali au unakataa?
Omar is accused of masterminding the beastly assault on September 12, 2024, in an incident that was met with widespread condemnation. The case will be mentioned on 15 November, when the court will decide on whether to grant or deny the suspect bail. Meanwhile, a 3-judge bench of the High Court has postponed the hearing of the case challenging the proposed leasing of JKIA to Indian conglomerate Adani Group to December 17.
As workers, we remain opposed to the intention of giving out JKIA to Adani. We have said not once, not twice, that it's not a good deal for this country. It is not a good deal for workers. It's not a good deal for the sector, that is the aviation sector in totality.
A petition filed by activist Tony Gashoka and Mount Kenya juries seeking to stop the government from leasing the airport will proceed on November 27th.
I'm sure that is a development that is going to feature heavily in our conversation in as far as politics is concerned, looking at the larger Mount Kenya when it comes to scope. What is now the entry, or rather the return of Maina Njenga into the fore? What does it mean for Mount Kenya? That's a conversation that Victor is going to be handling as we proceed. Now, still keeping up with politics, members of parliament from Bomet County want the county's health chief officer to take responsibility for the death of a patient that occurred at the Longisa Referral Hospital, allegedly due to negligence. Now led by Bomet Senator Hilary Sigei, the lawmakers lamented the healthcare in the region, saying the system was in limbo and various medical facilities lacking medication. The MPs also want the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to investigate alleged cases of bribery in hospitals within Bomet County.
And this one calls upon the immediate resignation of those who are responsible. In this case, we have got the hospital superintendent, who should have immediately taken responsibility. We have got the chief officer health. He should immediately have taken responsibility and resigned for this failure, because this is a confirmation of their failed leadership and their inability to do the right thing, that is to give appropriate leadership.
How can you have somebody coming from security? I understand he was coming from prisons, and is now the CC for health, the CEO, I mean, for health. It is very unfortunate. I think that is why we are having a lot of problems. We need to ask Parachok to fire these guys and put the right people in their places. We have people who are qualified to do the issues of health.
There was an instance where a whole lorry came to a dispensary called Kabiangek, and people thought that it was bringing in medicine to assist the locals. And the people who were there were called to come and unload the lorry, only to realize that they were unloading packets of condoms only, and not medicine, for that matter. So the whole issue of health in the county of Bomet is not working.
This incident must be a wake-up call for the entire country. And we are saying that this will never happen again. Because from today, we want to see heads roll. We want to thank the government particularly for sending the anti-corruption unit, and we want to see results. We don't want to see issues being taken lightly.
I also call upon the members of the County Assembly to really play their oversight role, because they are the ones who are supposed to be assisting us in the ground. The members of the National Assembly, the Senate and the members of the Parliament have come out to talk about these corruption issues because they have the details in their fingertips, and we are waiting for the relevant authorities to give us what is really happening. And it is now upon the members of the County Assembly to make sure that these things are followed to the letter.
Okay.
Now, to politics is that Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has replaced a former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua as, as a party leader. Now, the Deputy President, however, according to the party officials, is that Gachagua will continue to remain a member until he decides to resign. Here's the story.
The ruling executive committee meeting of the ruling UDA party held at its headquarters in Nairobi on Monday resolved to designate Deputy President Kithure Kindiki as its deputy party leader.
How are you, my brother? Yes. How are you? Good to see you.
The change of guard comes a month after the impeachment of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, which was succeeded by Kindiki swearing in as the next second in command a week ago.
I, Kithure Kindiki.
His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, EGH, ceased to hold office of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya.
After taking the helm of the party, Kindiki vowed to assist his party leader, President William Ruto, to grow the party's democracy through holding grassroots elections and registering new members.
Elections, the grassroots elections that have been going on, we will again, under the leadership of our party leader and consultations with the party organs, make sure that we proceed with that process of completing grassroots party elections.
Kindiki said he would consult with member lawmakers and promote the ideals of the party in the day-to-day running of the political outfit.
I must thank you for acting swiftly to make sure that our party does not experience any leadership gaps, so that we move forward the same way the other constitutional process of the transition in the office of the Deputy President of the Republic has already been concluded.
The UDA constitution designates the president as the party leader and the deputy president as the deputy party leader, respectively. However, sources within the party reveal that Rigathi Gachagua will have the liberty to remain a member unless he opts to resign.
As we shift to matters business, is that investigations are still on to the Shiner's Boy High School Nakuru incident there, as well as, Telegram social media platform closed in the country owing to matters of cheating. Now, the Office of the Auditor General has recommended that Parliament create a framework with guiding clauses that will protect public entities from rogue contractors when entering into contractual agreements. Nancy Gathungu says this will reduce instances of siphoning of public funds.
The construction of Line 5 oil pipeline had been scheduled to be completed within 18 months from the date of contract on July 1st, 2014. However, the project experienced delays occasioned by the change of design specifications by the project engineer. The project was then completed on 30th June 2018, over 4 years later. Following this, the contractor applied for 5 extension of time claims which were disputed by the project engineer. Auditor General Nancy Gathungu, in her review of KBC accounts for the year, flagged the role, citing risk to the loss of public funds.
It's important as we're looking at that tool, the low-lying fruit now is to ensure that we can even have a guideline that for all contracts there must be certain clauses to protect public interest and public funds. where if there is failure, then legal officers must explain.
Gathungu noted that the creation of a standard guiding tool will ensure public entities remained insured against tenderpreneurs who source for extra funds through extension claims of procured projects.
All legal counsel or all legal officers in public entities need to be trained so that when you're seated at the negotiation table, when you're looking at a contract, when you're looking at those clauses, there must be clauses to protect public funds, and there must be clauses to protect the public entity in terms of an exit clause.
Members of Parliament also raised concern that the Kenya Pipeline Company did not appeal the court rulings issued against them, leading to an additional burden in the scarce public resources.
After the PRA has reviewed and they have noted that the right process was followed, they should not go to court. But you know, there are some of the companies that they feel they have to win a tender. If they don't get it, they try to frustrate the procuring entities by going to court after the PRA to waste time.
When a contractor has been given a contract, say 1 year or 2 years, why should the contractor take 10 years or 8 years, excess of what they agreed?
Senators also sought an explanation from KPC management on plans to decommission Line 1 to be a water transporting channel, noting that environmental hazards remained a priority for the safety of consumers.
We need also to ensure that we have contracts that protect Kenyans, not only the contractors. I think doing that, and that's our moral obligation to the Kenyans, they expect us to do that. I think if there is nothing else that we'll achieve, if we achieve that, then we'll have saved this country.
Now, there's an urgent need to build capacity of institutions of higher learning to support learning of generative artificial intelligence and edge computing to increase Kenya's skill pool. Speaking during the unveiling of CIO 100 conference scheduled for this month, stakeholders called for collaboration and development of a curriculum to ensure there is enough AI talent needed by the local enterprises to drive growth of the local economy.
For many small and medium enterprises in the country, access to modern technologies such as generative artificial intelligence, edge computing and machine learning, which are key to driving growth, enhancing efficiency and security, is being limited due to insufficient local talent pool. As a result, many enterprises are forced to source the technologies, which often drive costs for many enterprises.
There are a lot of people within Kenya that actually have these skills, and they've been brought together either through tech hubs to develop solutions or bespoke solutions that can help the smaller companies. So some of these smaller companies are actually running software that has been developed locally in Kenya, and that is very helpful to them, and that's affordable.
Through enhanced collaboration with private sectors, chief information officers are calling for urgent development of a curriculum that will ensure companies in Kenya acquire local talent and reduce costs of acquiring the new technology. Increased AI adoption, for instance, is being backed to help companies reduce fraud, especially in the financial sector, and improve production processes for manufacturers.
Some of our curriculums are sort of outdated, and by the time they are releasing the workforce to the industry, we have to start the training again, right, and give them the practical space. So, and one thing I wanted to point out is that I think the government also and the learning industry need to make this curriculum thing more agile.
But again, it's not just about technology, it's also about understanding your insider threats, because some of these guys work with people inside, so it's a multifaceted strategy that you must adopt, and the use of AI helps us in doing that.
The 16th edition of CIO 100 Awards and Symposium is set to bring together IT leaders from across the continent with discussions revolving around emerging technologies.
We've tried to make it more African. We've got a list of good speakers from Kenya and around Africa, from Nigeria, South Africa, and all those countries that have really made impact on the technology space.
Now to the very last update on in the headlines this morning is in regard to sports, is that the National Soccer Harambee Stars team has left the country for South Africa to take part in the remaining 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against Zimbabwe and Namibia respectively. Kenya will play their first match against Zimbabwe Friday at 7 p.m. and will be live on KBC Channel 1.
The Enkin Firat Chargers will be captained by Aldo Hill top scorer Michael Lunga, who featured against Cameroon, where he scored the lone goal as they beat Harambee Stars 4-1. Also in the squad is Kenya's under-20 captain Amos Onjala, who earned his first call-up to the senior team.
We have to pressure, we have to push, so they will not open the games, they will close the games, they will try to play on time. We are aware of this, and we will have our ideas how to open the game.
Kenya will play their first match against Zimbabwe on Friday at 7 p.m. and will be live on KBC Channel 1, with the second match against Namibia scheduled for 19th of November and will be live on Y254 from 4 p.m. Both matches will be played at the new Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane, South Africa. Harambee Stars, who are currently third on the Group J standings with 4 points, must win both encounters to qualify for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Cameroon lead the group with 10 points, followed by Zimbabwe with 8 points, while Namibia are pointless.